So I've got good news and bad news. Good news is I had a great chat with Soonsay a couple weeks ago. You know the guy, 13th in the world last year, just got third at Genesis. Great dude, I've known him for a long time. The bad news is I didn't bring everything I needed to record a good interview. So I fucked the audio video. I've managed to make it sound okay, but it looks like shit. The chat was good enough that I'm gonna post it anyways. Just be forewarned, I did my best. I will make sure that I learn how to use a camera properly for next time. Yeah, thanks for doing this with me.
No worries, man. You live like 15 minutes away now. I don't have to drive to Toronto to do it.
That is true. I mean, this is my parents' house, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. It's still, It's just like the ring road exists. I just teleport here now.
Yeah,
you just blank out.
Dude, driving in Calgary was so bad before they put it in.
Yeah. Now you actually do teleport anywhere. Everyone I know is just like, oh, it's all in ring road math. It's all just like before it was like, oh, you had to do this, and it's like 30 minutes, and now it's like 10 minutes on the ring road. You just get everywhere. So yeah, it's chill.
It's a shame though, because you don't even leave your house. So like, there's no driving to be done.
I do leave my house. It's just, I just have friends outside of Melee that I do stuff with. And then I don't really leave my house for much else other than like family. And then actually, you know what? This sounds very normal person. I don't really leave the house much except for family and friends. And I guess I work from home, and that's the one weird part, but maybe not in 2026.
Well, what about local Melee tournaments?
Fuck them. No.
Yeah, fuck the whole Alberta scene.
Fuck them. No, I do still love them. It's more like the incentives have just like changed. I was never really one to go and like farm locals for money. It was always about just getting better. And then once it hit a point, and with Slippy, I was just kind of like, the practice is way more efficient online for me to do it this way rather than like finish a workday hustle. Like I feel like I've put in my time, I've put in my hours, and now the way to pay back is just like maybe teach people, maybe share info, try and like type in Discords and, not necessarily like free lessons, but just share knowledge. Like I think that's the payback, I guess. I can't find myself going to locals very often, maybe a monthly.
That's fair. I mean, you've helped me a lot actually, because we've messaged back and forth over the years.
Yeah.
And I've known you for a long time thinking about it. We met, was it 2016?
Yeah, about 2016. I think if that's the summer you were back. And
yeah, like MRU.
MRU. I think it was like UFC with Friday was popping. That was the one. Like MRU Wednesday was good, and then Friday it just felt like everybody came together. Wednesday was like the warm up. I don't know if MRU was Tuesday sometimes, but yeah, Friday at UFC was just always such a nice time. Well, 2016 summer, me getting wobbled by this guy.
Well, hey, not just me. There were lots of wobblers. Thank you.
There were. Yeah, it's true. Actually, you were not the worst of them. That's crazy. Yeah. There was lots of wobblers. It's slur derogatory. But yeah, I don't know. Met you in 2016. You are truly the person I see the most out of like all the what are now old heads. Honestly.
Yeah, because I mean, somehow we've both stuck around for a long time, and we both traveled to a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it was surprising to me. I think the first time I saw you at something, I was just like, oh shit. And then you're like, yeah, I live in Toronto now, and it's just way easier to go to stuff. It might have been like a big house or something, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. Like you can do that. I just kind of assumed everybody that was in Calgary just kind of got put in like a under the dome situation and was not allowed to go to majors except for me.
Well, I mean, actually, it was because you and I moved from Calgary to Toronto area around the same time.
Yeah. True. Actually, I'm just like, all my timelines are totally messed up. COVID hit, and I'm just like, well, I was saying to you earlier, it just like felt like I wasn't even there sometimes. It was just all such a blur. Mm-hmm. It's like it was 2 years, but it was the fastest 2 years of my life. And then I was just back to Calgary, and it was just a very small chapter.
It feels like you were there for longer. I mean, because especially in the context of like you and Melee, it was like a very formative period in your like Melee career.
Yeah, it was like the stepping stone to top 100, which was like so illustrious at that time to me anyway. It was like the thing to do, and like I was like so badly wanted to get on there. And when I look at it now, I'm like, God, what was I thinking? Like, just go to stuff. You'll get your wins eventually. It's not this like insane thing, but at the time it was everything. It was like getting 98th. I was just like, boom, I have carved my very small name on this mountain.
I think you're selling it short. I mean, it's a pretty huge accomplishment in the grand context of Melee, and maybe relative to where you are now. What are you, 13th in the world?
Yeah, 13th.
Like maybe compared to that, it's like a lower bar, but that's way more than most Melee players are ever gonna.
I know, it's true. I think it's also just because like it was almost like getting there and all the legacy and the names, I had this opinion at the time, and I think it was the opinion of the world, that everybody that was not American had it really hard to get onto the top 100. And that's still mostly an issue with EU, but Canada, not so much. But at the time, me and my boys, we were going around in a circle being like, yo, fuck these guys. They don't want to, they're never going to put like, we were actually like making up a guy and getting mad at him that like the cabal was keeping us out. So it just at that time, it felt like getting a legacy player kicked off the top 100 to get on it was such an undertaking. It was like at the time I was like, Ryan Ford went to like 1.5 events and he got 72nd. And I was just like, that is insane to me. I went to everything. I was doing it with work, and I was really like comparing to a lot of other players at the time. So the effort that went into getting the initial top 100 placement is much more than climbing the rest of it was, which sounds backwards, but the rest of it came much more naturally. And it felt like once you were on there, it was easier to climb. But getting that first top 100 spot was like finally the recognition of doing it all.
Yeah, because I mean, you were grinding for a while, right? Because what was your first year top 100?
2019. Right. 2019 was it, and I basically went to like GOML, Super Smash Con. What else was there? I think I still hadn't gone to like a Genesis at that point. That might have been the first year my first year was 2020, right before COVID hit, actually. But I just remember feeling like I had gone to a lot, and it was at a time where locals were counted in a different way. It felt like locals now don't get the same respect that I feel like they did back then. People were talking about what happened at a local way more, and it felt like it factored way more into stuff. Now everyone's just like, is it a major or is it a super major? And that's like the extent of what's important or not.
Right, because if it's not one of those, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like they'll still mention wins like from things, and like there's still like the accounts like Melee Stats doing like celebratory nightly things on like what that goings ons are, but it wasn't the same. Or it's not the same now as it was back then. I felt like if I did really well at a weekly, and also it helps that Curtis was there and Ed was there, and like getting to get a win on one of those guys, like it felt like it meant a lot more. Yeah, I don't know. I could just be making shit up, but it felt like in 2019, locals actually were more globally recognized in a weird way. Like the results from them counted more.
I think so. I think, having so many fewer data points of like, figuring out how people stacked up out of region. Like now we have online, right? So you kind of know where people stand against each other, even if it's like across the country.
Yeah.
But when all you really had to judge people off of was that local information, like people really fixated on being like, oh my God, did you see the January 2020 Rot 6 where Soonsay won it over None and
Cinema. Oh my God. Yeah. That VOD's great.
I think I got that right?
Yeah. It's the January 2020. Well, okay. While we're doing the glory days stroking here, I popped off against Curtis and Ed, won a local at Waves. Rest in peace. I don't think that is running anymore at all.
No.
And then I went to the UK right as COVID was hit, and I beat all the UK players.
Right, I forgot about that.
And that was badass because I was just like freshly crowned 98, and I just was like, I think I can win this tournament because all the matchups were like, it was like a good spread. I wasn't at that time for me. Everything just felt right, and I that was like the most red hot start to a year. I was so high on life at that exact point, and then COVID hits, and I was like, damn. I guess we're all just back to delay based netcode, and then July that year, everything was good again. But yeah,
it's funny too though, because you did get 98th that year, but like speaking as a guy who knew you well before you were top 100, you always felt like a guy who was like on that trajectory.
What does that feel like? Is it just this guy's a sweaty motherfucker? This guy is grinding the game a lot? I'm always curious. I've heard that before, and I'm like, I can't tell if it's actually a compliment or if it's like, yeah, you just kind of had this virgin energy to you.
No, because like Miles, let's be real. Like as far as virgin energy goes in Melee, you're pretty far down the list. Like I would say that you generally come across as like a pretty well-rounded guy.
Oh, thank you. For a minute there, I don't know. It wasn't looking quite right, but yeah.
No, it was true then too, right? I don't think you ever gave the impression that you were like a sweaty, like no life at home grinder, even if that was the case.
I did get made fun of for playing with balls because teaching tennis was my job. Right. I remember getting flamed in a Facebook thread by a guy that didn't have a job, and I was like, bro, I'm getting flamed for having a job right now. I'm in the wrong fucking neighborhood, apparently.
Hey, you persevered.
Yeah. Kept grinding, but yeah, I appreciate it. It's
But no, I think that there was always just like a clarity. Like it felt like you always had a grasp on what you were doing and like the trajectory that you needed, like the things you needed to do to get better. And it just felt like you really had like vision.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like Steve Jobs tier on vision here, but like, yeah, I kind of like I got to the bottom of it. But I think it started to click as I was coming up to leaving Calgary that there was like such a distinct gap between myself and Quaff at that time, and I could feel it. I was like, this guy is so much cleaner, and everything he's doing is just better, and it is taking like every sweaty thing I can think of to beat this guy, and it was such a vivid, like just palpable feeling of like this guy's so much better than me. And once I started closing that gap, that was just like the perfect slingshot into like, okay, wait, maybe I can just keep doing this over and over. I get what's going on the screen, and I understand what the learning process is, and yeah, the rest worked out okay.
Yeah, I mean, and also to his credit, like talk about guys who never got their flowers in competitive melee. Like people outside of Alberta do not realize how good Quaff was and how high that bar was set.
Yeah, he really set the bar for what top melee was. Like if you wanted, he felt like a true hidden boss, gatekeeper, every word you could give to a person for like, yeah, just call him a hidden boss in 60 different ways. That guy was not well known for how good he was, and just like he did more in online for a little bit, and he came to Vegas with me one time. He just like, I think right as he was good, I think he just kind of hit he's almost like what story I feel like I might have had if I didn't have such a good opportunity to leave Calgary at that point in time that I did.
Right.
It was just like the perfect time for me to leave Calgary to go to Ontario and then keep playing melee and have even more talent pool to like play against. That I feel like if he had had that sort of direction and opportunity, he might have seen like a similar trajectory. I really mean that. Like he's so criminally underrated all time. Like if I had to put him on the skill chart, like it is insane how good he was. Like it really would not have been far off like top 20 kind of thing in my mind if he just decided to keep going all the way.
I completely agree. Like his Marth was so ahead of its time, just especially punish wise and just being clean and precise.
Yeah.
And just being like looking at the screen.
Yeah. It was a different game with him. And it was like, yeah, that's why I explained the feeling of just having such an insane gap. I was like, something is going on here. And I think it's me getting gapped by this guy. And yeah, I was like salty as hell about it for a long time. Cause I just, you're frustrated at what you can't really comprehend. And then as time went on and as I would come back to Calgary and still play him, I was like, wait a sec, you're actually just really good. And I was just being a baby. When I would get frustrated, it was just like, no, this guy really is good. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still people in Alberta who are really good.
Yeah. I mean, I've been grinding with Venison a lot. That's probably the first person that comes to mind, Will, because like I feel like a lot of people haven't been taking the game seriously, at least in Alberta. It's sort of just been like a casual enjoyment. People are just playing dubs and kind of just being. It feels like there's a very distinct old head and then some new people that all just love playing mid tiers and low tiers for some reason, which I'm like. I don't know what's going on, but Will still likes just grounded Fox dittos like the good old days. Right. He's gotten really, really cracked at it that like, honestly, like I could send that guy in as a tag team partner for like half of like the top level Foxes right now. And I think they might get their shit rocked. Like he's really good at that matchup. He's really good at Fox Marth, I think. And he's good at like a couple of the ones that are in Alberta. He just doesn't have the matchup depth, I think, to not...
One of the hardest things living in a region like Alberta. I know that for you, that was like a bit of a difficulty for a while is matchup spread. Yeah.
You like think you're good and then you play against people from other regions and realize that there's like a whole other way that they can just absolutely rock your shit. And you're like, it could be lame. Like you might play against someone. You're like, whoa, I didn't realize this game got that lame. And then other times you actually just got swagged on. You're like, you thought you knew the Ices matchup and it turns out the guy you play against just didn't know what up tilt was. And you're like, it's like, there's some pretty horrifying things that go on when you go to another region and you're like, everybody here plays differently. Yeah. And suddenly those things that I was doing don't work very well over here. And it's a bit of a learning curve. So yeah, I think for him, matchup spread. It's with Slippy. All you got to do is just reach out. Right. Like BC's got hitters, Saskatchewan's got hitters. Montana, I don't know. Maybe Montana's got hitters.
Yeah,
but
shout outs to Montana.
Yeah, shout outs Montana. Maybe you got hitters, but just, ask around in the rough vicinity, and I'm sure you will find someone that is willing to talk through a matchup. Or if you just seek it, someone's going to talk to you about the matchup, and you will probably learn a lot. But it's just having the comfort to go out there and ask some dude about Luigi, and he actually will tell you everything about Luigi. So,
I mean, especially the weird character players are just waiting for an opportunity to just vomit information at you.
For real, they're kind of the best. I had a really funny interaction with, I think, Da, the DK player.
Yeah.
On I don't know if they say Da or something. It's DA.
Surely it's Da.
Surely it's Da. And they sent me, like, I think they maybe made their own website, and it was like their own Melee Bible, like their own little cookbook.
Yeah.
And it was a full dissertation on CC and how it actually works, and that we shouldn't really be calling it crouch canceling. I forget what the takeaway of the renaming of CC was, but I learned so much about crouch canceling from reading that, and they just gave me a bunch of advice going into I think it was like a Egg Dog Invitational or something. And then I played Junebug, and I did really, really well in it. And it was, people, this is all to say, mid tiers, low tiers, you might quit out on them on unranked, but they are also the people that are going to just immediately share everything they know about the character, because they're just down. They love their character. And they think it's so cool.
They don't have, speaking from experience, not that many opportunities to talk about.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's shut up. Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
To go back though a little bit, how did you end up getting into Melee anyways?
I watched Mango Wobbles on YouTube because it got recommended to me at EVO 2013, and I thought Mango was Wobbles and Wobbles was Mango. And
so you're the biggest Wobbles fan?
I was the biggest Wobbles fan. I was like, dude, this guy's, no, I just, it didn't make sense in my head. In my mind, Mango just looked like a guy named Wobbles. The names just looked backwards. So, but yeah, I think I watched it and I was like, so blown away by how fast the game was. And I'm sure everyone's had this experience in some way where they see Melee being played at the top level and you're like, why are they figure skating? It just doesn't do. I don't remember it looking like that when I played it with my friends and my brother and all this stuff. And then after high school, I just always wanted to play. I always thought playing Smash Bros was cool. I was always really good at it with friends, and I thought, it would be fun to do a tournament at some point. And then one day I'd talked up. I mustered up the courage to ask my friends to come with me to MRU. I was like, I want to go enter this thing. It's $5. And they were all super keen for it. I think they were all just excited to see if I would do well or not. And so we all just hopped in. My friends, 1997 Honda Accord, I think. Or maybe it was a Corolla. I don't know.
Something cool.
Some cool shit box. You just potato, and rolled up to MRU, and I didn't go 0-2. As I have never gone 0-2 in my life ever, and I was like, okay, that's my one flex. And I think I beat Liban. Do you remember Liban? Liban. He was Liban. He's a Falcon player.
Oh yeah.
And I think I beat him, and then I lost to a couple of Ganon players, whatever. And I knew I wasn't good enough, but that was kind of the start. It was just a period of my life where I was going out drinking with friends a lot and partying and clubbing, and then going home at 2 a.m. and playing net play. And it was just slowly but surely, I was really not having fun with the partying and the clubbing and sort of figuring out what I do like. And I was like, I think I like Melee a lot. I'm leaving clubs, partying with friends and talking to girls and having all that. And instead I'm just I'm going to go home and I'm going to grind Marth. I'm going to go home and grind Marth. So that's what I did. And that was the start of the journey. So
because there was the Soonsay, actually no, the Miles.
Yeah. My original tag was Miles with 3 S's. Cause I just was what's a couple more? Yeah. The Soonsay Marth, Jesus, or the Miles Marth.
Cause that lasted for a year, right?
Probably more, because I started in 2015, went to that local, late 2015, went to that local, and then I didn't come back for 5-6 months until it might have been sooner than that, 4 months, Salt Flats, and there was one in February, I think, at I think it was Killarney Community Center. I remember it well because I lost to JV 2-1, and I was really close to making an upset, and then I got dog walked by Wamsa, the Yoshi player in Marth Yoshi, and I was like, wow, this sucks. And I tried a little more Marth. And then after getting dog walked again by Kritsky, super fast Fox. At the time, my eyes simply could not keep up. I was like, something needs to change. And I got recommended to switch on to Fox. And it was kind of my shitty secondary, to be honest, for the longest time. I was like, up throw, up air for puff matchup. And then otherwise, I still kind of played a bit of Marth. And then, the Marth just got retired and I didn't look back past a certain point. I was like, I just can't. Just doesn't feel right anymore.
Yeah. Do you think there was like an alternate reality where we had like Soonsay the Marth main? Or
yeah, maybe if I saw how free Zane had it retroactively, I might have decided to stick with the easy fucking carried ass character. But no,
not actually a Marth hater.
No, not actually. I don't care. I think the matchups. Marth adds a lot to the game. It's like some of my most fun watching Melee is like Zane Jmook or Zane Cody. Like Zane is often in those sets, or even just Marth is an exciting character. It just feels terrible when you're bad at the game. But yeah, Soonsay Marth, I don't think there's an alternate universe. I'm gonna be real. Every time I've pulled out that crusty guy, he can't put up any numbers. He's just throwing bricks. So
you started the game, you saw it was fast, you realized you liked it, you were grinding. Were you always like, I want to be really good at this thing? Was that always like the goal?
Yeah. I had like an anime protagonist mindset pretty hard. I was pretty hyped to just show up to the local, put in my music and listen to the most hype shit imaginable and just go full daydream mode about getting amazing at the game, becoming number one. It was like, it's stuff that I was like, I would be really embarrassed to mention probably years ago or back when I was doing it. I would never tell anybody that I was actually thinking this. But at the time, it was so sincere. And so like, yes, I know I can be really good at this thing. I can feel myself getting better at it. The results are showing locally, then maybe finding a way to get on the PR or beating PR players. And, just that climb, everything felt like it just was so anime protagonist. I was like, I am the main character of this for sure. And it's like, it's really cringe to say it now, maybe, but that's honestly how I felt. It was like a really positive confidence thing for me in my life to just like have this thing that I could feel myself climbing with. It was just so important. It still is. It's just that what it meant at that point in time where I just like didn't have a lot of life direction and was kind of going back to school, I was mentioning to you, and like kind of just threw a dart at a board at that. Melee was like this thing where I was like, I chose to do this. I wanted to do this and I'm putting in a ton of effort into it. And yes, I'm living with my parents in their basement grinding Melee. And yes, I'm coming home every Wednesday and telling my mom I got 9th or whatever shitty placing. But I am doing this because I want to. I chose to do it. So yeah, there was something special in that, I guess.
I think that's one of like the coolest things about, competition in general, but also Melee, right? Is it's like such an opportunity to just invest in your own ability to get better at something and to see like results for the effort that you put in. And like I think that having that like protagonist perspective and just like wanting to win and then following through and making that happen is like part of the most rewarding part of being in a competitive space.
Yeah, it was looking back, it was like a little socially disconnected because it was very self-serving to just be like, I'm going to go own everybody and maybe just have like a couple friends, but like mostly I'm just here for the Melee. And then I would just dip out as soon as possible. And like some things never change because I kind of still do that, but I've made more friends obviously since then. But yeah, it was, as I'm speaking through it now, kind of therapeutically, I'm like, it meant a lot at that time. I look around and I'm like, I didn't have a lot of direction at that point. I didn't do really great in school. I kind of just like messed around in high school and didn't put up any good numbers there. And then, yeah, post-secondary and all that. It was just, it was something that I decided to get in my own little boat and start rowing. And yeah, that's the journey.
Yeah, I think that's like true for a lot of people in the space. And one of the things about Melee that's so magnetic. You can bring it all the way back to the Smash doc, right? And like it was an opportunity to be somebody.
Yeah, it's true. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that quote again. Like I've watched the Smash doc a couple times, and like it is so true when I see that quote pop up. It's an opportunity to be somebody. It's like, yeah, it's so many things to so many different people. I just know for me, I do cringe looking back that I was main charactering it, but at the same time, it was so awesome to have this like source of confidence. And I was like 18, 19, and just starting to figure out all sorts of things about yourself, what you actually like, what you actually want to spend your time doing, what what gives you any sort of purpose and stuff. And that's where I landed, I guess. So it's beautiful. So many people landed there and found the same kind of meaning in the storylines and all that.
I totally fucked the lights. It's getting so dark in here. Give me a second. We're just going to leave this in. I'm going to try and salvage it.
You're good. Terrible? Playable?
We're going to roll.
All right.
You're radiant, Miles.
I'm radiant? All right.
But yeah, that's good enough.
All right.
It's melee.
Who needs to be flattering?
Yeah, well, we'll just clip everything from the beginning.
Yeah, just deep fry me when the lighting gets better.
Yeah, you're red now. Was that like competitive angle on stuff? Was that something that you carried forward through that tennis? Was tennis like a competitive outlet for you growing up that transitioned into melee, or do you see them as like two separate things?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wasn't as good at tennis as I wanted to be. Was kind of the that's the punchline of this story in some ways, where it's like I wasn't as good at a thing as I wanted to be, and like I felt unfulfilled by my kind of inability to really have some competitive composure and really stick something out, and that hurt. And I think that like it was really hard to like don't get me wrong, I was good at tennis and still play, and like I would still consider myself a good tennis player, but like winning a tennis match is such a different ball game from just like being a crazy good in practice, crazy good in like, and everybody knows this probably from the melee angle, from being like, how do I play good like I do in friendlies in real matches? And it was like, I think what melee gave me was like a really easy, accessible avenue to meet up with people to practice, meet up at tournaments every week to play, and like become a competitor that I wanted to be and wish I was when I was a bit younger. I was like in shambles after every loss because I just felt like I could not play like I did in practice. And like, I just did not have the mentality together and went through so much anguish over wanting to be really, really good at tennis, and just, it just would not come together, and it just hurt really bad. So, the competitiveness was just part of me anyway. And then having no healthy sort of like, well, it's not that it wasn't healthy, but like I just lost so much and I wasn't satisfied with that when that sort of wrapped up and I was finished school and tennis wasn't like a priority anymore as like an extracurricular type thing. I was just like, damn, this is something that I can be competitive in and take seriously. So it definitely carried over, but it was more from a place of like feeling like I screwed up on New Game, and now I'm on New Game Plus, and I get to go back and correct my mistakes and stick with the thing that I said I was going to do. So yeah, it was a bit of a redemption journey as well. And that's not to hold little, 13, 14, 15-year-old me accountable to like not having some battle tested mentality to win. But it's been such a journey, and that was definitely the start of it. Going through tennis, entering tournaments there, not doing well. Like for all intents and purposes, like people say, are like 0-2 or 1-2 or 2-2, or like maybe a 1-2 or 2-2 are in these tennis tournaments versus kids that have their parents who have like spoon fed them to be tennis extraordinaires from the day they were 4.
Right.
It's all part of the journey for sure. I could go on forever about the tennis melee thing, but yeah, it's all part of it. It was mostly because disappointed in tennis or how I performed in tennis. So
well, I would be remiss if I did not ask about the book,
the Inner Game of Tennis.
Have you read it?
I've read it, but I read it way later than when I played tennis. Okay. I think I read part of it when I played tennis, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Mindfulness, like I never considered that, little 14-year-old me. And then I would go play Halo Reach for 6 hours, wake up the next day, go to school, then go to tennis. So, or like, Halo 3 or whatever. I was just playing too many video games, and tennis was whatever. But yeah, I did read the book. It was way more helpful for Melee later. I think I read it in like 2022. Like I didn't like it was way into the quest. It was not like it was like some pivotal turning. Actually, I will give a shout out to a book that did help while we're here, in case this turns into a little Oprah's book club someday. Nate Zinsler, Dr. Nate Zinsler, or whatever, he did The Confident Mind. That book rocks. That book has a ton of like actual exercises on building up like a positive mental bank account and like just the ramifications on that, Melee, otherwise, life stuff. I recommend that book to anyone that feels like they're like struggling to develop a competitive mentality and have any sort of sense of belief in themselves in anything. It could be work or whatever. That shit, I wouldn't say it changed my life, but it was really nice to have something that's not just like some dude being like, imagine there's two of you. One of you that's automatic and just does everything, and the other one criticizes everything you do all the time. It's like, no, it's like, write out these things, be really mindful on the positive and negative thoughts you're having. Here's some strategies to internalize those better and discard the like useless thoughts.
It's very functional.
Yes, very functional. And so, not to make fun of the inner game of tennis, because it has a really poignant point about competition that you should go and read. But the Confident Mind was very functional later on in Melee, as I was like really trying to get up this upper chunk of the mountain. Push top 10, try and win a major, all that stuff. So
that's cool. I'll check it out.
It's really good. Like, even if you just skim it and pull the exercises from it, it's awesome.
So that having that competitive outlet, has that always been like really important to you? Do you still feel like having a competitive outlet is important for your life?
I think so. I think I'd be an angrier person if I didn't have something to like really gun for. I mean, as all the life pieces fall together, like having a job and house and trying to like juggle all that stuff, I think it's just a part of me. I'm a competitive person. I like competing. I think though, what I like about competing, and fine, I'll spoil the inner game of tennis, is that there's just this really amazing comparison about why the surfer gets up in the morning to go challenge the bigger and bigger wave. And it's almost like in Melee, the feelings of self-expression and like mastery and these moments, these big moments on stage and top eights and all this stuff, there's just such an immense sense of like satisfaction from doing all that and feeling like I'm a stronger player than I was the previous day. And like, I used to be about like, I'm better than that guy. I felt more like I'm gaining something and you're losing something. But now it's just like, I just get to occasionally have the gift of some incredible play on like a tournament day, and it feels really good. And I just love pursuing higher and higher Melee play. And the other guy doesn't factor in that much. I know it's a dance. I know there's two people involved, but it's just more about me in that moment and what I'm proud of being able to do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm Mr. Long-winded right now, but the truth is I will always, I think, be a competitive person, and I think Melee or something else is always going to be like me pushing myself to do something better. I like mastering things, or trying to anyway.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's ever difficult balancing that with like a full-time job and like you live with your partner, I believe, and have a house and friends that you leave the house to go see even?
Yes, believe it or not.
Like, how do you feel like the Melee and being so close to the top? How is balancing that with outside life?
Hard. It's hard. It's like, the full-time stuff didn't hurt so much for a minute because I was in Ontario, and like you felt the Melee climb, and you just like the progress felt so consistent. Mm-hmm. And you don't feel like the plateaus hitting. You're just smashing through everything, and work's going well. I was traveling and seeing different parts of the world, and like I was mentioning, like as everything's kind of settled into place, it does get harder to balance stuff. You start to realize like the time it takes to either maintain or improve your skill at this thing is like, you got to become more efficient at it. I think that's what most people would say. You just have to you got to make the hours that you do have more effective, your practice more effective. And that is all so true. But even that is its own mental tax. When you're like trying to figure out how to best optimize your practice, that's its own mental energy being spent. So yeah, it's difficult to balance, but I think just surrendering yourself to all these different things is sort of the feeling I've ended up with. I mean, funny enough, my mom has said that forever. She's been like, just surrender to the things that you have to do, more or less, was kind of the life lesson. And I did not take any comfort in that. I was like, I don't surrender to shit. I'm not surrendering to nothing. And then it was like, actually, yeah, I'm just away this weekend in a Melee tournament. And like, I've practiced a bunch, and like, you forfeit some hours to it, for sure. And maybe some people would be like, it sounds like you don't like it very much if you're forfeiting and surrendering and all these negative terms. But no, it's true. It's like you really do just, when all these things are going on, you're stressed from work, you're stressed from life. If you really do want to do this thing, the disciplined thing to do is just surrender some time to that thing and carry on. So while it is hard to balance, and I find myself sometimes not having the balance I would want, it's it comes in waves at the right time. I'm practicing for all the right things at the right time. I always give myself a month lead up to tournaments. Like my process is still good, I would say. But when things get out of whack, I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm not going to play Melee for a couple weeks. I'm going to get my shit together, and that one has to go on the shelf for a little bit, and while I get some other stuff in order. So
if you could give advice, like one piece of advice to somebody who maybe is trying to balance, a complete life with Melee competitive aspirations, or just aspirations in general, like what is there something that you could offer that you think you learned along the way that was really effective?
Yeah, I think just listen to yourself, like listen to your body, listen to your mind. Like you'll feel if you take 10 seconds when you go to bed at night and you got anxiety, like when you really take a second to just unfold all that, there's a reason you're probably, not getting enough sleep or not. It's like first things come first is the awesome saying. And it's like, I would say don't over prioritize the wrong thing. It right in front of you is like, you got stuff going on at work or you got your personal life. It's like, it's okay to put those things down and come back to them. Like, unlike, sports, like, we'll say real sports, not esports. I think there's some forgiveness. We see players playing later. It's not the same physicality. You're not going to worry about tearing ligaments when you're 40 because you wasted time sorting out your family matters or something. It's like, you can just play the game as long as you want. Melee will be there when you get back. Sort out your stuff. That's pretty much the heart of it. It's because if you just ignore all that, then suddenly you're super stressed and you feel like you're swimming upstream all the time. And it's like, maybe just accept that there's a certain amount of hours in the day and you need a certain amount of those hours to rest. And some of those can be for focused work, but if you're only getting an hour in a Melee or only half an hour, that's still something. You don't need to, even saying it out loud, I'm like, Melee doesn't have to be important at all is the real honest advice.
Right, but it's also, people say that, and I'm going to interject.
Okay.
Because I think it's okay for it to be important.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to have hobbies or things that people don't think ought to matter, that matter to you and are things that you want to see through for yourself. Like, you have to fill your life with something.
I totally agree. I think, like, I don't want to get across that, like, you shouldn't care about something because it's a hobby. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Right.
Hobbies are so important. But even as we're talking about it, hobby, it's like, how seriously are you taking this? Are you pushing it to a level that might be entering a bit more of a serious territory where hobby doesn't quite fit it anymore? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think really it's just the heart of it is just listen to yourself. Like, if you're tired and you're like forcing yourself to stay up to grind those extra couple friendlies with someone, it's like, you might be better off just getting a full night's sleep. You might be better off taking some time outside or take a vitamin D at least. Like, just take care of yourself in a way that is, because like this last month, like after Genesis, funny enough, did really well at Genesis. And then I had such a long buildup of practicing for Tokyo and practicing for Genesis and Ireland. Even before all that, I was practicing so much. And then finally Genesis happened and it felt like, okay, I'm not resting on my laurels here, but I feel like a bit burned out. I'm just going to play some other games when I get a chance. I'm going to catch up on some time I haven't had with my girlfriend and like the balance just becomes obvious when you've been neglecting things and need to get your shit back in order. So hobbies, absolutely. I just mean, like, if work is demanding more of you and you are burning the midnight oil, it's like, don't get 5 hours of sleep. Like, don't sacrifice physical essentials to do this thing. Just get a good night's sleep. In a couple of weeks, the things at work might ease up or your personal life might ease up and you can get back into doing your rhythm, get back into your rhythm.
But, we hear anecdotally about players playing 9 or 10 hours a day in order to try and be at the top.
Fuck all of that.
Yeah, you don't think it's essential?
No. Those guys are just fucking mashing rope at that point, dude. They are. It is so cooked to do 9 or 10 hours. Like, we're not on the Korea super servers, bro. It is not that serious. Like, I think you can get so good at stuff with deliberate practice. Like, if you asked a lot of these people, hell, there's been studies about the work day that you can't actually do 8 hours of focused work. If I can't do 8 hours of something I don't like, how am I going to put in 8 hours of focus on something I supposedly do like? It's like, yeah, I think that's totally cooked. I think upper bound. And this is assuming you're going running, you're taking care of yourself in other areas. I'm like a 4 hours guy. that's my upper bound for Melee in a day. And that's even that nowadays is like, and I think other people would probably, maybe Zane or Cody would be like, this guy's pathetic, fucking worm. But it's like, no, man. I think everybody has different practice strategies. Mm-hmm. Everybody gets different stuff from practice. And I've read some really inspiring stories about guys that have had way busier schedules than me, way more hardships and life going on. And they have managed to make that like 45 minutes of peace that they get each night to become incredible at something. And so it's like, yeah, I don't think it's just a raw numbers game. For the first little while, fine, I'm with you, like getting all the tech skill and getting all that. But when it comes to just thinking about the game, it's like you don't need 9 hours to figure out you shouldn't walk into Marth up tilt. It's like you got to figure that out by minute 15, hopefully.
Yeah, honestly, if it takes you 8 hours there, we might have some other issues to deal with.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not shitting on anybody, all my spaceys out there, all of my everybody's walking into Marth up tilts. I feel you. I'm just saying, you can probably figure that out pretty quickly if you really put in the effort. And I've done a bit of coaching lately. I did some to make good on some promises for the Nouns Invitational campaign. And that was a recurring theme where people were like, how do I do this thing? And it was like a teaching a man to fish situation.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you need to look me in the eyes right now and tell me that if you didn't watch your own gameplay for 5 minutes, you wouldn't be able to tell me what was wrong. And they're like, oh, I didn't really think of it that way. And I was like, open up the video, man. Just put the video on the screen and watch yourself walk into up tilt again. And yeah, suddenly they're like, dude, that helped so much. And it's like, yeah, fucking unbelievable stuff, man. If you just make that 15 minutes count, you will learn a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably sound like a bit of an asshole here.
No, I think it's true. I think, and Zane actually, in an indirect, first of all, Curtis agrees with you, right? We've talked a lot, and I've seen how much he plays. That people playing 8 hours a day is gratuitous and excessive. But also, when I talked to Zane, he, in an indirect way, mirrored something similar, where he said, sometimes you can fall into the trap of just, especially as a person whose like personal identity and goals are so intertwined with Melee, like of just feeling like just playing the game is inherently productive. And so like you can just fall into a pattern of like, oh, I'm doing something with my day because I'm playing the game.
Yeah, I think that's real too. I feel that a lot because I do have other hobbies that I like to get into. Like aside from enjoying like other games with my friends and just doing stuff like that, like there's just other projects, other things I like to do, other stuff that's like career adjacent and me just trying to be a bit of a tryhard in that category that I like to get up with. And if it's very easy to fall back into something you're really good at. It's very easy to sit at the piano and play the same song over and over because you're like good at it, or it is totally a trap where you feel like you're like doing something and then you're like, damn, I really been hitting the same shit for the last, I don't know how long. So it is true. It's a productivity trap. It can be a bit of a numbing agent to like, you got other stuff going on in your life, which harkens back to my advice of just like, take inventory of what's actually going on, because Melee is a lot more fun when all your shit's in a row. You're not coming back to a life you're dissatisfied with. Not to get too heavy about it, but like truly, it's like when everything's in a row, it'll just feel right to sort of indulge in this thing, and you'll really get to enjoy the fruits of it, and not feel like you're using it as like an escape from reality.
I mean, you are proof that you can balance this stuff and still do well. And I mean, you brought it up yourself a few minutes ago, but you just got third at Genesis?
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
That was insane. Every time yeah, every time I think I'm out, it pulls me back in. I don't know. I that's my Sopranos reference for today. I fucking love that show. But the Genesis thing was crazy. It the balancing act of it is real for sure. Going into Genesis, I just was like, it wasn't even like an I'm playing good. It was like an I am good, being totally, absolutely not humble or any of that shit. I just was like, I've grinded so much. Tokyo went pretty well, managed to clutch up some really great sets, in my opinion, there versus like Nikki and Crudo, which it just felt like matchups I might have like crumbled in, even a few months prior. And like, I don't know, I won the Ireland tournament. Like everything was just coming up Millhouse for a minute there. And Genesis was kind of the culmination of that. It was a tournament that I was like, I feel like I can win this right now. It's a little bizarre. I was just like I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, I think if I beat Jmook and I have 2 full sets on Cody, there's a world. And again, I'm just assuming Jmook doesn't win their set, but it doesn't really like hurt too much because I just like look back and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about when I say like what the feeling is like, it's so satisfying to be up there in the moment and be like, my mental is rock solid right now. I am so calm. I've got people behind me freaking out because I'm going for stuff that I love to go for. And I know that people love to watch, and all of that just feels amazing. It's just compressed into one feeling. So yeah, Genesis was just like, yeah, it was awesome. The only other time I've had a tournament that felt like that on that scale was GOML like a couple years ago where I got third as well. And that, no grands. Yeah, it was a really special moment. It was first win over HBox. Hadn't beaten Triff in a long time. Triff has been like low key a bracket demon for me. And I figured out what float canceling was about 12 hours prior to playing that set, which is crazy.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. I swear on my life, on everything near and dear to me, I did not understand what float canceling was. I was just like, I asked Josh and I were like getting dinner the night before, and he's like, okay, so what do you think float canceling is? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I thought it was to do with like Peach's ability to like, because I've heard of like slapdashing and all this fucking the ancient texts that have been read to me about Peach, and I didn't really understand. I think I explained it something to do with like, it was like L canceling out of a float, which is kind of like it because I know the word cancels in there. But I was like, why is this character so goddamn fast? And he was just like, I can't believe you are as good as you are for not knowing that. You are so dumb. Yeah, we're going to get you practice tomorrow with Maybe and Derek Aura, and we're going to get you right. And yeah, and later this was the funniest part of this is after I did this, when Josh and I, because we were with like Dom B and like I forget who was there. We were grabbing dinner, and then after Josh basically said something to the extent like, to the extent of like, man, that was like really courageous of you to like I really appreciate how honest you were and sincere that you didn't know what that was. Like, some people might have lied about, and I was like, dude, do not placate me. Like, in this moment, I was like, I get it. I'm dumb. Okay. And he's like, I'm being genuine. I really like, that was so sincere of you to just say you really didn't know what it was. Like that was your best guess. And I was like, I hate you. Because Josh has ribbed me historically, but I think he was being sincere, but it felt like I was getting fucked with in such an insane way in that moment. But yeah, Josh taught me what it was. And then I practiced my heart out the next day for like 4 hours with Derek and Maybe. And yeah, somehow managed to get through Triff, which I didn't think I was going to do. I thought top 8 was it. I was going to lose Triff and then maybe have a losers couple of sets, but yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Sweet. Do you feel like, it must be like the high water mark, best run of your career?
Yeah, it was pretty special. I think what was so special about it was having Josh there as I was beating HBox. And like, Juan, if you're watching this, like, you're popping off after you're winning games. I appreciate your warrior spirit, but in my back of my fucking mind, I was like, the second I win this set, I'm doing every pop-off I've ever seen. I'm having an avatar state of pop-offs. I did everything. I fucking cranked my hand. I slit my throat. I did every pop-off that I've ever seen in that one moment, because I was just like, it was just the culmination. And none of it was like, I swear to God, it wasn't staged. Everything just fell right. It just came out of me a moment of tension, because I was just like, yes, motherfucker, you can win this fucking set. And of course he did. It was, Josh runs up and he's like, you're going to win his fucking top 8, man. You're going to win his fucking top 8. And he's just, yeah, there's a picture of me fucking levitating. It was like,
it was awesome.
Yeah,
I was there.
It was chills. It was, and I'm saying that sincerely. I got chills, and everybody, it was that kind of joy is like really hard to come by. True moments of just like, oh my God, I did something that feels new and feels like a new landmark in this, for me, it was a new accomplishment. Yeah. So yeah, not only was it an HBox win, but it was for top 8 at Genesis, winner's side. It was everything. So yeah, it was super special.
I want to circle back.
Sorry, I'm all over the place.
No. We're good. But a couple minutes ago, you said you were doing things people like to see. Was that in reference to like on-screen, like play style stuff, like flashy stuff? Is that kind of what
it's all in the game. Like, it's like, I'm not like turning around. I don't got it like Rap Monster. I can't rock up with a backpack and snap back with ears. No, he's got his own swag. But
But
yeah, it's all in game.
But is that stuff that you like deliberately do when you play? Like, did you decide to try and play the way that you play and try and work towards that, or is it like a kind of a consequence of just learning the game? I'm like, do you put value in play style as like something that's important to you?
Yeah, I think that like at the end of the day, I've gone back and forth on whether to like play cool or play optimal. And I think the way I play, and you know, again, not to do any too much self-sucking here, but I know what I fell in love with watching the game. It was all these crazy tech skill videos, Silent Wolf, Relno, and Mango, and like, you know, all these, just the movement, the stakes in which they're still going for this stuff. And I know that that's the Melee I fell in love with. So it's almost kind of my love letter to all the stuff that I fell in love with watching the game, that I want to play like that. It's not, trust me, I'm going for up throw up smash when it counts. Like there's going to be times that you got to pay the bills, and I get that. But just towing that line of like, doing what's right, quote unquote, versus just being like, I'm going to mix this guy so hard right now. I am going to hit the craziest combo. I'm going to hit stuff that people want to talk about. And they're like, I didn't know you could do that. Like that fills me with joy. And whether that's like just the most showboating shit ever, I don't know, but like, I love it. That's what I love about Melee. I think it is so sick that there's a group of people gathered just screaming for blood, and they want to see the most insane thing happen. And you know, people, you know, you could say it one way where people are not like, oh my God, it did the up throw up smash. My mind is blown. I just don't think that's the shit people are writing home about anymore. It's like, I want to put on a show. I think a lot of players do want to put on a show. Honestly, I think a lot of people have that desire. So it's just, yeah, I know that I'm good enough and technical enough, and like these things, stuff that's like considered a technical limitation, I deliberately try and challenge those things, going for like infinite wave shines on Triff or something. And it's like, that's what I want to do. That's the most fun to me. I will always go for that sort of hype kind of thing. And sometimes it doesn't go so well, but other times it's a movie and everyone's writing home about it. So it's yeah, that's what gives me joy. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think that so much of competition, especially in Melee, is so tied to like validation from people. It being able to say I beat that person and they have to hold it is like it's part of it is about other people knowing it, whether we want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the person that you beat knowing it, you know. But then doing it in a way where people have to say, man, he beat me and he did it cooler than me. Like that's so irrefutable too.
Yeah. It's like I got to, like, I'm just gliding on you. There is nothing like Again, I do harken back to what I was saying earlier, where it's like, I don't feel too much of the whole, like, I win, you lose.
Right.
I'm gaining. So like, I really don't. I used to feel much more of like a squashing of the person. And I just don't, it truly is like a feeling of like, I want to do something incredible in this moment. I know it involves winning, but it's almost like winning is a byproduct of that sometimes, where it's like, it was so sick and I was playing so well and I happened to win. And it's that mentality that makes me question if I ever actually like if winning even matters all that much, because I'm like, the joy of it is in the moment of like, these people behind me love what they are watching on screen in the moment. And it feels so good because in my narcissistic, I guess, or something, I think this is sick. And it's like I said earlier, where it's like, it's that love of what I fell in love with watching Melee, and it looked this way to me. This is what I interpreted sick Melee as. And I want to try and put that forth into what Melee is being played today. And yeah, don't get me wrong, there's a sick satisfaction for sure. Specifically the one set, I said it earlier, but it was like, because he was so stoked on every game he clawed back. And I was like, ugh. I normally doesn't fucking bother me, but I was so sure I was winning that set that day for some reason. I was just like, it just felt right. I was hitting everything, and I was like, I think if I play this cool, I will make it to the end of the set as the victor. And when it felt closer than it had any right to be. He's like insanely tenacious. He doesn't just give up at all. Not that people do all the time, but Juan especially is just like an insane warrior about it. That winning that set, there was a sick satisfaction there for sure. I've lost so much to Juan, so I was just like, just let me get my one dub.
As a guy who's rooting for you, I got pretty scared when it came down to Game 5, because I know that you had your battles with Game 5s in the past.
Yeah.
There was a period where I think, not to be too critical, but you were choking a lot of game fives.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a different time back then. Nowadays, all I do is win game fives. No, I've lost a bunch of game fives. It still happens, but that's what I mean about like the confidence thing too. It's like eventually you just got to start making those positive deposits of like, I can win these game fives, and I start winning game fives because the tune changed eventually.
Right.
I was winning more and more game fives versus really good players and players that had me on the ropes that maybe would have been like about to make an upset, and I was still finding that clutch. But yeah, for a minute there, it was a rough go. I felt like I was losing every game five situation, and that was the one I'm thinking of specifically, the painful one. Now that you've rubbed salt in the wound, was Ed, me versus none
GOML?
at GOML 2019. Yeah. That at the time for the stakes for everything, I wasn't ranked top 100 at that point because it was top 100 for 2019 was the year that I was doing well, and then I got ranked technically for the 2019 at the start of 2020. So this was what I'm talking about when it was like the grind to get on to top 100. When I lost that game five, if you haven't seen this set. I mean, I know you have, but for anybody watching.
Is that the one where you bounced off the bottom of Fountain?
Yeah, so he goes for an insane edge guard that he can't make it back from.
Yeah.
And I either avoid or hit him with an up B. No, I think I just go straight into the cone of Fountain of Dreams. And he's up being, and I'm up being, and he's in free fall, and I'm in free fall, right, and I die first. That's what it was. It was the most heartbreaking thing because, like, knowing Ed now, like, he would just take a loss like that on the chin and just carry on. It just doesn't really matter. But so I wouldn't have really had the satisfaction other top players might have given at the time for that kind of like upset. But for me, I was just devastated. I was like, oh my God, this was such a breakout, like the moment, game five. And Ed was like top 20 at that point in time, I think, right? And yeah, that one hurt the most. And that one I think was like what kind of cemented that period as like Chokesville, USA.
I mean, that was one of the ones that stuck out in my head. I also want to say
there was Summit 10 online. That one hurt as well versus HBox. That one was crazy.
Even when you were grinding, was there a SmashCon? I think that I
lost. Did I lose a painful SmashCon set? No, I kind of just got waxed by Cody before Cody was Cody.
Right. That'll happen.
That was 2019. SmashCon, did I have any crazy ones? No. I'm trying to think if I was like on the cusp of any mega upsets that really went down the drain. It changed how it felt. Like back then when it felt like I wasn't sure of how like capable I was, those wins meant everything. That's like about building your confidence up. But yeah, losing to Ed in that way, and I just, it was so painful. I can relive it. I can feel it now. It's awesome. That's what it's all about, that I care about it that much. But at the time I was like, this game sucks.
And then I think through the course of that year, you really cleaned it up. Because by the end of that year, I think you beat, was it Hugo at Birthday Bash?
Yeah, it was Hugo Birthday Bash. Damn, you got this shit on lock. I feel like you're having a Nardwar.
Dude, I didn't even research that. This is just I'm invested.
Dude, you're gonna pull out like a childhood picture next. No, it was Hugo at SmashCon not SmashCon, Birthday Bash. And what else? There was like Moki. It was like the January, I guess, would have maybe counted
right after
for
that,
yeah. Yeah, I still felt like I was like choking random game fives and stuff. And like it was kind of an Ontario bit for the longest time that I couldn't edgeguard Falcon. I would get flamed in like a group chat, an Ontario group chat, repeatedly every time I lost to any Falcon. Like, and there was a lot of Falcon losses in there too. So it was there were some pretty gnarly ones, but yeah, I think it's the Ed ones that's the worst. And then I think HBox Game 5 at Summit 10, which was the online one that I got into. That was painful. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, you kind of just go make a coffee in your own home, and you're not like halfway across the country and having to get on a plane and go home after that loss. You kind of just like get on with your day. So that's the nice part about online.
But you really did clean it up. And are you still like, where's your head at with competition now? Are you still gunning for the top, or?
Yeah, it's sort of like I feel like the lesson I've arrived at is this like push and pull of like I was saying about taking breaks. I don't think I have like the perfect blueprint for everybody by any stretch, but I've found what works for me. And that's like, consistently working out with a friend of mine, trying to eat well and make sure my work stuff is sorted, and then I have time for Melee when all that other stuff is sorted. So it makes it easier to like stay competitive, want to be competitive. I think where I'm at right now is more like sort of a pseudo sunk cost fallacy where I love Melee and I enjoy playing it and I enjoy watching it. I still enjoy all aspects of it. I don't have the same fiery like main character energy I did before.
Mm-hmm.
What I have now is a lot more like chill, and it's still like there's still a deep hunger there to beat these people, but it's like, God, I'm close. And it's hard not to look at that and be like, God, you're close. And you should just like get the job done, see the journey through whatever that is, whether that's a major win, whether that's, oh my God, I win a bunch of majors over the course of a year and it's number one or something. I'm not really gunning for number one. I think at my heart of hearts, I'm gunning for wins over Zane and Cody in this era today, and more over HBox and just like over the rest of the field, which I guess is like saying I'm going for number one, but it's not for the number. It really is just for the like, on a given day, I can beat these guys. I've shown it so many times. I know I have beaten Cody before, but like I really would like to do it in a way that matters, in a way that I decide matters arbitrarily on the day.
Right.
So, cause like the Battle of BC one was cool, but it's like he came back and won the whole tournament.
Right.
I needed to go down into losers and hit him in the head with a rock. Like that's what I needed to do to feel something about that Cody win. But the competitiveness, that aspect of it, it's a lot more honed. It's a lot less like, I want to win a major. Like that matters, I guess, but it's like, no, I want to beat all these people that have been playing better than me for a long time and show them that like the peak level that I'm capable of is, and show people that the peak level I'm capable of is, it can do it. It is better at that moment in time. It won't always be better. There will be people that come along, I'm sure, and play better Melee, but like, I just want to know that at that slice in time, I was able to achieve what I set out to achieve, which was to be better than everybody I played against at some point in time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. The real dream would be to win a major and just like carve my name into the wall one time. Right. Like that's the cool thing, but it's hard not to say, like, if I did pull something like that off, then you'd kind of got to wonder, well, why don't you just go for number one? If you can win a major, then like maybe you just stick it out and see if you can do it a couple more times, or maybe from like a January to December cycle roughly. But that's not where my head's at right now. My head's just like, every time I play Zane, we're having really good sessions. I'm playing well. These games are getting so close, and all our sets are mostly getting really close. I don't think there's been too many Zane blowouts last few times I beat him or played him. Sorry.
Right.
And then, yeah, it's just cool to feel like I'm scraping the ceiling of something. Mm-hmm. It's like I can see the top of the mountain. It is right there. And especially with Genesis, it's like Cody, I won't go too on the record saying he got lucky, but I'm just saying the Phantom hits were a little fucking crazy. And he's a champion, so there's just no denying that. He has absolutely won and just absolutely gone on a tear, and the Genesis was no different. But in that moment, I was like, motherfucker. That Phantom happened, and I was like, that changes everything on a game 5. So who knows? Genesis might be, I might be there next year, hopefully making a top 8, maybe not. We'll see.
Do you plan on continuing to compete for the foreseeable future, or just gonna listen to yourself as it comes?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said Josh quitting isn't like a huge flat tire on the road. Not because like I'm really close friends with Josh now, and I love that guy, and like I want him to go on to other things. It's like doing the rest of the quest alone kind of feels bad in some ways, and I know people have phrased that a lot of different ways where their friends quit, and so they kind of lose a motivation to continue. I'll just have to see how I feel when he finally does pull the plug, and there's just a beep, a little flat line. I want to continue playing for now. All the stuff with Lucky Sevens is sick, and they've been gracious enough to take me on and make it possible for me to go to more events than I probably otherwise would have chosen to on my own budget. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think I do want to keep playing, and like I said, it's exciting to me to play good Melee. It's exciting to me personally to be like, wow, like I can do that thing now. There's a deep satisfaction that comes with that. So I want to keep giving myself opportunities to do that. You know, I want to play HBox again. I know that now there's some shit. He knows it can happen now. Like I want the drama. I want all that. I want to see how Rat Monster does. I want to play against that guy and, you know, keep enjoying that story. And like that part of me comes out, and I think that's all going to be really exciting. But I think Josh leaving will probably be the at least a coin flip. It will at least be a coin flip at that point. And so if I keep playing, you'll know that like I called heads and it was heads. But if you mysteriously don't see me at Genesis or Battle of BC or GOML, you'll know something's up.
We'll blame Josh for it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just move to Oz. And it's not his fault. He's not taking me down that easily. You know, he came along kind of late in the journey, more or less. Like I started getting really close with Josh in like 2022. But yeah, it's just, he's been such an interesting, I don't know if I call it a foil, definitely a friend, but also a foil to like his mentality around Melee, my mentality around Melee, and butting heads about all sorts of stupid shit, but at the same time wanting to reach the top.
Do you guys feel like you guys have very different takes on the game, or?
Yeah, yes and no. I think we really mentally align on some stuff, and I think he's become a much more grounded individual over time on like just getting down to the brass tacks of the game. Back air pays the bills, baby. Like he doesn't, you know, I think he's not too swept up in the moments anymore. He's really just like, I know what I need to do to get the dub, and I'm going to work really hard to do that. In fact, he might have sent those exact words in that exact order to me. I might be truly reciting Josh mentality right there. Whereas I'm like, I'm still kind of in La La Land sometimes where, like I said, I want to be playing this cool version of Melee that like doesn't always work. And we'll watch a VOD of mine and he's like, dude, you are a dumbass. And not in those words, probably meaner words, where he's, you know, we just see the game a bit differently, or like a lot very differently. But it helps because I think it is a good, like it's good to be brought outside of your mental model of how you see the game sometimes. And you can sometimes see some stuff that you didn't realize was even like possible. And it's obviously it's vetted because Josh has been seeing the game this way for a long enough time and he's done well enough. Right. So when I get pulled out of my mental model into his world and I see things his way, I kind of understand it. And I'm like, oh, there's a huge value to incorporating some of this. And I'd like to think, but I think he's worse about it. I'd like to think he sees my side of the street and he does pull some stuff down and he's like, he lives in perfect Melee land and I live in like, but it worked land, you know? He's kind of like, but that shouldn't work because they can shine at a shield there. And I'm like, but it did because they were scared. No. That's kind of like, if I had to distill how we see the game differently, that's kind of it. Yeah. He's very facts and logic and I'm emotional. So yeah, I don't know.
No, that's makes sense. I guess we're pretty much at time, but to close it up, have you, do you ever think about what your life would be like without Melee?
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if I got good at the wrong thing.
What do you mean?
Just like you put all this energy into stuff, and I've heard quotes about maybe. Did I hear quotes or did I rewatch True Detective? And he said, "Be careful about." I think it's True Detective, and that got me thinking again. True Detective season 1, GOAT season. My life would be very different without Melee. My life would be, you know, I don't know if I would be the person that I am today in terms of like pursuing new skills and hobbies or having that sense of self-belief. I feel like a part of my childhood self and teenager would never really have put the tennis chapter to rest if I didn't feel like I saw some sort of competitive satisfaction and closure. So, I mean, I don't want to write the book like this is the epilogue here. And it's like, yeah, but like, truly, I'd be such a different person. And like, over this journey, I realized that I do fit in ways with the Melee crowd. There's like I do belong in it. I know everybody's different in all sorts of walks of life, but like so much about the journey has also been just, it is the friends you made along the way. Unfortunately, all the people that said that, they were kind of right. So yeah, I can't imagine having not met a lot of people through this game and having the connections around the world, the deep gratefulness for people that had, put me on their couch countless times in different cities and helped me, afford a hotel room or shared their sponsor this whole damn time. Shout outs, Josh. I've literally been like a shadow Shopify rebellion son for like the last year. But yeah, I'd be a very different person. My life would be very different. I know, joking about the like regretting getting good at one thing, seeing how much time I've sunk into it is an interesting thing to do. It's like going on the League of Legends website and being like whatever those sites are where it's like you can check how many hours you've wasted on League.
Right.
And it's like 1 fucking billion. And it's like you could have led the mission to Mars if you actually put this hours into studying astrophysics. And you're like, damn, I wasted that time. But no, it's not that. I think as I expressed talking to you today, even it's been a little therapeutic. I'm going to be honest. It might be therapy with mono. So much joy. Like I can feel myself lighting up talking about it and all the moments through it. So yeah, none of it was wasted. No. It was all the right path at the right time. So yeah. Well, thanks, Melee.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it. But thanks for chatting, man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me. It was fun to be able to do this 10 seconds from my own house, pretty much,
hey.
Not having to travel to another city. So.
Well, it's kind of nice when I'm stuck in Calgary too,
Yeah.
But,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, cool.